Talking about Ronnie Coleman means talking about much more than just a bodybuilding champion. Behind his 8 consecutive Mr. Olympia titles lies a personality shaped by unshakable motivation and extraordinary discipline. If Coleman became a legend in bodybuilding, it was not only thanks to his exceptional genetics, but above all because of his ability to push himself day after day through pain and sacrifice. Ronnie Coleman's motivation was rooted in his love for sport and challenge. Unlike many athletes who enter bodybuilding for fame or recognition, Coleman started almost by accident when he first joined Metroflex Gym. What drove him to continue was not the idea of becoming famous, but the desire to become stronger, bigger, and more complete every single day. His famous phrase, "Yeah buddy, lightweight baby," perfectly summed up his mindset, turning every tough workout into an opportunity to grow. But this motivation would have meant nothing without the iron discipline that went with it. Coleman trained twice a day, 6 days a week, with an intensity that went beyond most professional athletes. He lifted monstrous weights, sometimes worthy of powerlifting competitions, while still sculpting an aesthetically balanced physique. While many bodybuilders focused on lighter, isolation exercises, Coleman went further, performing squats with more than 350 kilograms or deadlifts, surpassing 360 kilograms even during contest prep. This approach demanded not only exceptional physical strength, but also incredible mental resilience. Coleman's discipline also showed in his strict diet. To maintain a competition weight of around 130 kilograms, he had to consume between 5,000 and 6,000 calories a day, spread across 6 to 8 carefully planned meals. Chicken, rice, fish, and supplements formed the backbone of his nutrition, followed religiously without deviation. His ability to keep this routine consistent for years proves that, for him, discipline was not a burden but a way of life. Another striking example of his discipline was his ability to balance his career as a police officer with professional bodybuilding. Even after winning his first titles, he continued working full-time on the streets of Arlington. This shows that Coleman was never driven purely by money or prestige, but by a genuine passion for what he did. However, his relentless motivation and discipline came at a cost. Years of extreme training wore down his body, leaving him with multiple back and hip surgeries. Yet even today, though he sometimes struggles to move, Ronnie still smiles, stays positive, and repeats his motto, "Ain't nothing but a peanut." His motivation was never just about competition, it was about life itself. That mindset continues to inspire millions of fans around the world. In conclusion, Ronnie Coleman's motivation and discipline were the foundations of his legendary career. His journey proves that success is not only about natural talent, but about the ability to persevere through pain, remain consistent despite fatigue, and believe in your goals even when everything seems impossible. Ronnie Coleman is not only an example of physical strength, he is, above all, a symbol of determination. Ronnie Coleman is now recognized as one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, but his path to glory did not begin under the spotlight of competitions. His early days are marked by perseverance, hard work, and a nearly accidental encounter with bodybuilding that would forever change his life. Born on May 13, 1964, in Monroe, Louisiana, Ronnie Dean Coleman grew up in a modest environment. From a young age, he showed a strong passion for sports. In high school, he focused on American football, where his natural strength and discipline allowed him to stand out. He continued playing at Grambling State University, where he served as a linebacker under the legendary coach Eddie Robinson. Alongside his athletic career, Coleman also dedicated himself to his studies and earned a degree in accounting, a professional path far removed from bodybuilding. After graduating, he moved to Texas and began working as a police officer in Arlington. In 1989, the job, physically demanding, helped him stay active, but it was still not the path that would lead him to bodybuilding. The turning point came when a fellow officer, who was passionate about weight training, encouraged him to join a local gym, Metroflex Gym, owned by Brian Dobson. Dobson immediately noticed Coleman's extraordinary potential, not only because of his unique genetics, but also thanks to his discipline and determination. Dobson offered him a deal. If Ronnie agreed to compete in a bodybuilding contest, he could train for free at Metroflex. Coleman accepted, not really knowing what to expect. He prepared for his first competition, the 1990 Mr. Texas, and against all odds, he won the heavyweight category as well as the overall title, defeating none other than Dobson himself. This victory marked the true beginning of his bodybuilding career. Despite this initial success, Ronnie's early years were not easy. He had to juggle a full-time job as a police officer with the intense demands of training. Financial resources were scarce, and he did not yet have the support of sponsors or major brands. Nevertheless, his passion grew as he entered more competitions. In 1991, he earned his professional card by winning the IFBB World Amateur Championships, a crucial milestone for his future. What set Ronnie Coleman apart in those early years was his humility and relentless work ethic. Unlike other athletes, who quickly sought fame, he remained grounded and continued serving as a police officer even after turning professional. His progress was slow but steady. He learned to perfect his diet, structure his workouts more efficiently, and understand the requirements of competing at the highest level. These formative years were essential in shaping the man who would later become an 8-time Mr. Olympia. The young Ronnie Coleman was not yet a legend, but he already had the ingredients that would take him to the top: unmatched discipline, raw power, and a growing passion for bodybuilding. Ronnie Coleman's story is more than bodybuilding. It's a life lesson about what happens when discipline meets passion. His achievements on stage are historic, but what truly inspires is the mindset that carried him there. Coleman showed the world that greatness is not built overnight, and that talent alone is never enough. It is the result of years of sacrifice, consistency, and the courage to keep going, even when the body screams to stop. Even today, after multiple surgeries and lasting injuries, Ronnie continues to smile, inspire, and remind us with his famous words, "Ain't nothing but a peanut." His spirit proves that strength is not only physical, it is mental, forged in resilience and perseverance. The lesson he leaves us is clear. Success requires more than dreams. It demands action, relentless effort, and the discipline to rise every day, no matter the obstacles. Ronnie Coleman's legacy is a challenge to us all to push harder, to embrace struggle, and to believe that with enough dedication, even the impossible can be achieved.